There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.
Live from Lexington, Ohio, we welcome race fans one and all to the GoSpenny 127K for race number 7 in Season 3 of the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. Hello, one and all, and welcome to the show. My name is Nolan Rempo, and I'll be taking you through all of the coverage, start to finish, of tonight's 35-lap race around this 13-corner, 2.2-mile-long road course. 13 corners on this circuit, 7 to the right and 6 to the left make up the Mid-Ohio Sports Car course, for what should be an absolutely fantastic race for us here tonight. We look on down into the point standings, see how everything is going to be shaken on up as we enter tonight's race. And so far, top of the board, still Michael Kenner by now 31. Grant Peterson has taken over the top spot for drivers that do not have a win, 39 points off, only 8 points back from two-time winner of the season, Matt Rucci. So far, Rucci with his win just last week, as well as Michael Kenner. They will find themselves being the only drivers with repeat wins so far on the season. Jason Green still sitting in 12th place, all the way down at 103 points out for the top 12, but only 1 point away is Nate Brody. And with only a handful of races left prior to the chase-off getting started, it's all to play for that very crucial cut spot. Badger Racing still at the top of the boards on the team's championship with All-American Motorsports, just 21 points behind them. We are very much in qualifying presently here in Lexington, Ohio, and it should be a very interesting race for us then here tonight. As you can see, just over 2 minutes remaining on the clock, but that is not a whole lot of time at all. And in fact, it might only be enough for a couple of these guys to only get in one more hot lap. It does take about a minute and a half to get around this facility, but it is worth noting that a lot of these drivers will not be able to make those times work, as they will only have 5 minutes to make it happen. Logan Hamilton puts down the pole time so far, the benchmark time of 1:28.86. But quickly going to be bested by 0.2 of a second by Nate Brody, make it almost 3. Spencer Ray coming across the line to complete his first lap, and he'll be good enough for P2. And he'll have just enough time to get himself down to second lap. Anybody else coming across the line at this point will not have time to get a second lap in. So Jacob Noyes is not going to get a time in. Stefan Purcell will go 5th fastest. Looking at Hunter Thrower, who is on his second lap now. He might just have some time. Brad Pranger not going to be able to make it, as Thrower really stepping the back end out there. We look up to Nate Brody, the driver furthest around the race course at the moment, and there's just over a minute left. He'll be the first one to put down a second lap, and we'll see what this second lap will mean For Nate Brody, will this be enough to put him up and keep him up on pole position, as no doubt Spencer Ray will be looking to chase after him. An incredibly technical course, the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Lots of elevation change, a lot of points where you're on the power right when you go over the crest of some very subtle lips, and that makes it one of the most challenging tracks that the OMSRL XFinity Series has ever visited, and it certainly makes it the most challenging track on the schedule so far this year. Coming around through turn 12, going to cut it back in tight for 13. Will this be good enough to keep up on pole? Power sliding through the final corner, comes across the line, and that will not be an improvement for Nate Brody. 10 seconds left. Here comes Spencer Ray looking to see if he can try and capitalize. And Spencer Ray does not. He will stay where he's at, and nobody else able to complete lap times. Only 6 drivers have set lap times, but only 13 are going to be actually making the race start here for the GoSpenny 127K. Very, very small field. A lot of drivers not really feeling Mid-Ohio, and it is one of the most difficult tracks out there, so I have to say I'm not terribly surprised with this. Slightly disappointed, we'll say, but it can't say that it was at least a little bit expected. Taking a rundown of how it's going to shake up then for your starting grid. It's Nate Brody up on pole position for TI Racing. Spencer Ray sits in second with Logan Hamilton starting third. Bear Morton rounds out row number 4, second and a half out with Sean Kaiser down in 5th place, almost another 3 seconds back. Stephen Purcell was the last driver to put down a qualifying time. He will start in 6th. But there you got Matt Rucci starting 7th. Then it's Kyle Munson, Hunter Thrower, Jacob Noyes, Nathaniel Ames, Brad Prenger. They will be the drivers that will be bringing up the rear of the field, with Cody Harrelson starting in stone dead last. A very short pace lap then here as we get set to go racing for more action here in the OMSRL XFinity Series. Want to thank everybody for taking the time here on this beautiful evening to watch the GoSpenny 127K from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Coming around to the final couple of corners, put it into the hands of Spencer Ray and Nate Brody to take us back to the green flag. Good start throughout the field so far. Nate Brody clear by 2, running down in towards turn number 2 as Logan Hamilton tries to fend off the number 9 of Bear Morton just behind him. Already a lot of drivers fanning out. 7 seconds, making 8, separating 1st through 12th as there was a huge gap between the back runners as we came down to the line for the first time tonight. Nate Brody leads the way into turn 4, one of the best braking zones you'll be seeing on the racetrack. And even further towards the back, nobody wanting to make moves just yet. But Spencer Ray clearly a little bit better through 5 as he's going to try to close up on the Rooftop Bar Tools number 1. Cody Harrelson was not able to make it to the green flag. He will, looks like he will not be making a start at all, in fact, from this race, as he still has not even gridded up into the car down on pit road. Matt Rucci all over the back bumper there of Bear Morton, as it will be Brody to lead the first lap back to green. Rucci trying for the outside into turn 13, going to go for the crossover. No room to make it happen, though. Rucci will have to stick in line. Will he make something happen into turn 1? Made a little peek, but decided not to get too ahead of himself. Morton up and on to the curbs as they charge back down the hill. Thrower sends a cone flying right behind. There's the lunge. Matt Rucci to the inside of Bear Morton. Morton going for the switchback through the turn 2 hairpin. And Morton stays ahead, and you can see Rucci trying to close on in as well. He makes something happen down into turn 4. Not going to happen this time around. Battling going on down towards the back of the field. You saw Noyes make up a couple of spots. Thrower tried to make a move. He backed out. Nathaniel Ames looking to the inside of the All-American Motorsports 24 of Sean Kaiser. And outside line through 5. Got to be careful not to run it off the racetrack there. So get tight as Prenger tries to tiptoe his way through as well, and Kaiser will drop 2. So we are fully green flag racing then here from the GoSpenny 127K. Looks like the field just getting themselves all sorted for the time being. I want to give you guys a chance to see the battle that happened all the way down into turn number 2 on the second lap of this race, and watch all of this chaos going on deep in the field. Kaiser went way deep, and that caused a good chunk of drivers to fight his way through. So Kaiser lost 3 there, all in one go. And up front, you had seen Jacob Noyes also execute a pass on the outside of Hunter Thrower in the run down to turn 3 through the kink. And a move also just made for 10th place as Nathaniel Ames went too deep into 2 and actually slid the back end out, wrestled it back under control, but the Repairables.com 51 found his way through instead. Trouble for Stefan Purcell off the track at turn 12 and trying to rejoin as, that's going to be tight, rejoining right near Hunter Thrower, and still off course. He will be falling all the way back to the tail end of the field. We will get a view of what just happened here to Stefan Purcell as he went just carried too much speed into turn 11 there. And that's what sent him really wide and up into the grass. In the middle of that, Jacob Noyes actually got over into the wall there. And we will, again, see if we can get a look at this one as, just lost control of that one. Spun the tires a bit too much on the exit of 13. And now Noyes under fire by Brad Prenger in the run down in towards turn number 3. And really deep on the brakes there for Prenger. And I think Jacob Noyes actually braked a bit early there, let him take that spot away. So good news there for Jacob Noyes, as you can see all the damage on the, or bad news I should say, as you can see all the damage on the front end, even on the right front, which I find interesting considering that was a left side impact. I wonder if he just hit it central enough that that ended up translated into a full front end worth of damage there. Sean Kaiser just lost the spot to Stefan Purcell, and that would have been a tight pass, judging with the location, and sure enough it was. Look at this one, around the outside. Or the inside of turn 10 would have been the outside of turn 11 for Purcell to make that one work, but he ended up just being able to tuck that in line as we look back now to the overall battle for P9 on the racetrack as we look to your battle for 6th place, with Munson, Thrower, Prenger, and got Noyes and Ames hanging around on the back, but there's not a whole lot between them as Jacob Noyes once again sliding way out and able to gather it up. I think Noyes is still coming to grips with the racetrack, and he is struggling a little bit to make that work. You see him still fishtailing. No doubt the damage he's got on the left front of that Two Girls in a Leaf Chevrolet is not helping the matter at all. While Prenger is trying to run down the likes of Hunter Thrower here. That would be down to turn 11, where they are currently finding themselves situated. The inconsistency racing driver not having the best of runs so far, but he's doing a good job on just keeping that car stable for the time being. And at the opening run of road course races like these, that's what you got to do. You just got to keep it more just a bit composed. You got to not overdrive yourself, and then you should be able to have yourself a solid run by the race end. Jacob Noyes way off the track out of turn 2. And once again, just looping around. This time it went fully around in the 34, and he ended up in the sand trap. Now that sand trap, interestingly enough there, that is actually where the sand trap for the chicane that you can see just on the other end of it, which I find a bit interesting. They managed to go so far out that he ended up all the way over there. Let's go right on board a little bit here with Brad Prenger as he tries to run down the number 83 car of Hunter Thrower just up the road. Oh, you can see him really struggling to work that wheel. Is getting a bit impatient here, trying to see if he can close in that time. But you really have to be careful when you're making moves like that. Otherwise, you could easily find yourself in a whole heap of trouble later on down the line as, oh, looks like he might open up the door here for 2. Oh, not quite able to tuck the nose in, but I have a feeling he's going to be able to get there before too long. Stage end will be coming to a close at the end of lap 12, so we are halfway through stage number 1 here. Battle starting to pick up for 3rd and 4th between Logan Hamilton and Matt Rucci. And Hamilton out wide. He will lose the spot to Matt Rucci as a result of that one, and going to get a look on board with the number 88 car as he took that spot easily for Logan Hamilton. He's easy to just run really wide and lock up the brakes. Did a good job to get that thing under control, but that will easily see Rucci up into the podium positions now, as we will once again look a bit further back. Purcell and Noyes and Kaiser still nice and tight together. Purcell has not been able to make a whole lot of moves as Kyle Munson off into the gravel I think into the tire barriers actually on the left-hand side. You see a lot of fresh damage on the left front of his machine. As well as that, Jacob Noyes having more problems for himself. So we'll take a look at a duo of incidents here. There's Kyle Munson going all the way around. Has he collided the wall? Oh, he has a big hit for the number 8 machine. And now as for what happened to Noyes here, he's lost 4 seconds to Purcell, so I'm willing to bet he's lost it again out of turn number 13. And in fact, he has. Oh, that was fully around. Got into the wall that time by. Nathaniel Ames ultimate a battle with Kyle Munson at the moment. This was just literally a second ago as tried to take the outside away from Munson through turns 3 and 4, and he is, oh, he's actually still doing a good job to hold on to that one, and we're still going to watch this battle, but he's going to lose out to it there, and we stay on the replays as more troubles for Brad Prenger. Spoken of the wheels through turn 7 down the hill. He's gone wide, loops it, goes for a slow, lazy spin, but no further issues for himself. We'll let back to Ames and Pringer, as Ames has managed to successfully execute the pass on Brad Pringer. We are all over the replays tonight, and I think just like we saw earlier, I think Pringer let Ames have that one into turn 11. So it was a fairly clean opening 7 laps or so, but I think now that we're a bit deeper into this race, as months goes really deep, we start to really see the mistakes start to pile up as Pringer capitalized on Ames's failed attempt to make a run on Kyle Munson. But he is also not able to make something happen, so Ames and the Civil Air Patrol Chevy will stay in the middle of a 3-car pack here in between in the battle for 7th. As you can see on the track map on the bottom right, this is the closest trio of cars we got on the track at the moment, so we're going to stay focused on this battle here as we are 3 laps left to go in the opening stage of the night. Early break in there for Brad Pringer, potentially anticipating something to happen up here to your top, or to the top 2 drivers in front of him, as you saw Ames lose a big chunk of time there as he went too deep into the turn 2 180-degree hairpin. Wants to go too deep this time into 4. Well, that time he's able to get himself more or less sorted. So while this battle continues to fight on, let's look up to your top 2 battle here between Spencer Ray and Matt Rucci, the GoSpenny number 6 Mustang going up against the Badger Racing Chevrolet. And Pringer making the move on Nathaniel Ames into turn 1. Risky move there as Ames locks up. Runs deep. Pringer's, whoa, big tank slapper there for Nathaniel Ames out of turn number 1 as Pringer goes through. And easy pass there for the number 51 car down into turn number 2. Let's see if Nathaniel Ames can capitalize with a crossover down the back straightaway here in towards turn number 4. Not going to make it happen there. Ray still tight there with Matt Rucci as Nate Brody taking it to pit road. Bold call for race leader Matt Rucci for Nate Brody, excuse me, as Rucci goes around the outside of Spencer Ray into turn number 1. Going for the race lead right at the end of the stage, and outside line for Rucci. This is going to be a tight pass to make here. Both drivers even on the brakes, still side by side, and I think the 88 car has that spot secured. This was about 2 laps ago, Jacob Noyes exiting turn 13, which has really been his nemesis all day long. Took too much curb, wall. This time did bring the car to a full stop and had to flick spin in the round. Pringer and Thrower also find themselves coming on down into pit road. We're going to stay with this battle, though, for the race lead, as this could be for the Stage 1 conclusion and the Stage 1 win. And Ray not going to be able to get there. Jacob Noyes off track again. We'll cut back to that in just a moment as Spencer Ray making a last-second call when he realized he's going to get to the Stage 1 win. That will give it to Matt Rucci, who wins the opening stage on the night. As Hamilton also makes a trip in. Nate Brody is all over the back end of Barry Morton. He wants to find a way through at turn 12. Oh, too deep from Morton, and Brody's going to find a hole at the penultimate corner, and he'll go through for 4th place to get around Barry Morton as well. And now still have to wait on the 10th place driver, Hunter Thrower, who's actively in a battle with Stefan Purcell to come around to the line. Oh, tried something in the 10 there. Didn't work out for him, though. Stefan Purcell is not letting this one go as Thrower coming around turn 12. Can he make something happen out of 13 to go for the 9th place? He'll be the last driver to cross the line before the Stage 1 yellow flag. Not able to get there. Stage caution is out. And that leaves Matt Rucci as the Stage 1 winner here tonight. It's going to be a little ways for Rucci to catch up to the iRacing pace car here as we are under our first yellow flag of the night. And there is the truck out of pit road. Caution flag number 1 out of the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for stage number 1. Matt Rucci is your winner. We'll be back in just a moment.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
The OMSRL XFinity series is brought to you by Tucson Sound Art. Your art never sounded so good. And tonight's race is brought to you by GoSpenny. Drivers still catching up to the tail end of the iRacing pace truck as it makes its trip over turn 9 and down in towards 10. Good chunk of drivers just now catching up to the tail end of the pacing line. You've got about 1st to 7th in that train. All 12 drivers that started this race still in the running as pit stops about to get underway. Matt Rucci will be the first driver to lead them in, and Nate Brody will cycle through to the race lead. And here you can see everybody else making the trips into pit road as well, with Rucci, Morton, Munson, Ames, Kaiser, and Purcell and Prenger. Everybody else excuse me, Jacob Noyes also going to join them, but everybody else has already come on down and in for pit stops. For Matt Rucci, first in, first out. Got a few replays to take a look at here. These were all happening on the last lap here of stage number 1. First up was Jacob Noyes, lost control and just managed to keep it out of the tire barriers on the exit of turn 1. Later on in the lap, coming to the end of the stage, Logan Hamilton slid off into the grass. He was able to get himself back sorted. Followed by this was Jacob Noyes having another off-track excursion at turn 4. Clip the gravel trap, and he will slide back on at turn number 5. This next one happened under the caution period. This was Logan Hamilton trying to catch up to the safety car, and just like Jacob Noyes did, too deep into turn number 4. And you see, followed Jacob Noyes' tracks almost exactly to get himself a bit out of shape there. Matt Rucci, meanwhile, though, he, of course, is your stage 1 winner here from the GoSpenny 127K, taking over the stage 1 win there from Spencer Ray, who tried to battle back. He opted out, though, at the very last possible second. So in just a moment here, we'll see if we can't get a hold of the number 88 car to see if he can give us a bit of a chat and tell us what it's like to drive around the Mid-Ohio sports car course. Just have to wait on him to make himself available, and we are now going to see if we can't dial up your stage 1 winner. Matt Rucci takes that stage win, and Matt is looking like it was going to be the Nate Brody show up in front, but he pitted early, and, well, that left it down between you and Ray on that last lap.
Yeah, I mean, this car, pretty tough to drive, just absolutely no grip, but, you know, it's a lot of fun. I had to chase him down a little bit, so, you know, I had to push a little bit, slipping and sliding a little bit, but it was a lot of fun.
So you are going to be starting a little bit on the back foot. You got a lot of drivers in front of you, but you'll have about 1 lap fresher tires on an oval. That might not be that big of a deal, but at a road course, would you say that even a lap or 2 is enough to make a significant difference?
It's, I mean, maybe for like a lap or 2, but once the tires get worn, we're gonna be all equal. You know, once we get like 3 laps, 4 laps on the tires, it's gonna be pretty much the same. But yeah, I mean, I hope there's an advantage. Take anything I can get.
And with Mid-Ohio being by far the most technical racetrack on the calendar in Season 3, what do you think you're going to have to do to get it done here for a race win?
You know, just be confident on the brakes. I feel like that's where a lot of the time is made up, especially on the long straight. That's probably one of the more difficult braking zones. You can wheel hop pretty easily, trying to shift down into gears. And, you know, you just got to be confident and hit your mark.
Well, hopefully you'll find yourself with a race win here tonight from Mid-Ohio. Before I let you go, anybody you'd like to shout out for that Badger Racing 88?
Yep, Badger Racing, and you for doing what you do.
Thank you for taking the time here, Matt. Best of luck in the rest of the stage.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Matt Rucci joining us from his car. He will be restarting in 5th as we come down through turn 9. We have had 2 more incidents that I want to quickly touch up on. This is, again, drivers catching the tail of the pacing line. Purcell going off and almost getting into the barriers. He kept it under control, and Jacob Noyes. We'll actually get back to that in just a moment as we're about to go green flag racing here. We'll look back at what happened to Jacob Noyes on lap 16 in just a few moments once everything has kind of settled out a little bit further up the road. Through turn 13, and it is up to Nate Brody jumping on the power. We are back to green flag racing. Oh, and Hamilton already defending big time to the inside. Double file contact between Ray and Thrower. Almost sends Ray off the circuit in turn number 1. They keep it steady, still double file with the top 3 breaking away. drag racing down into turn 2 for a lot of these drivers, as Spencer Ray is going to be able to hold it to the inside line. Kaiser fishtailing out of the corner. Purcell pulls over and looks like he might be letting Brad Prenger through. Meanwhile, Spencer Ray attacking Matt Rucci down into turn 4. But he can't make it work in 4. He's going to have to try to battle around the outside of 5. He just can't do it, though. It's so hard to keep the car to the inside. It's a tight corner, first gear off camber. So Spencer Ray is going to fall back, and now Rucci is going to be finding himself in a comfortable 4th place. So with the field all sorted, this was a habit of Jacob Noyes under lap 16. Way deep, and that's about as far deep into the gravel as you can get without hitting the wall. Cranked it hard right to avoid going into the tire barriers and was able to rejoin, but that is why he was not with the main pack when we went back to green flag racing. Whoa, trouble, and Hunter Thrower goes around. He's binned it into turn 1. Hunter Thrower going all the way around as potential contact in that one as well with Matt Rucci. You saw Rucci have to really scatter with that one. We'll get a look at this one from the air. And we will, well, this is a bit too far back, so we will try to gradually figure out where we are, and nope, Thrower lost one all by himself and just overcorrected. Unfortunate there. Meanwhile, Jacob Noyes has had another crash as he has spun it around. Is this out of 13 again? If it is, my goodness. This was, while that spin was going on, by the way, and not into the wall that time by, and Brad Prenger having an off and a spin at turn 4. Tell you what, Prenger was really lucky not to beach the car there. That's an easy thing to do as well. Thrower's woes continue as he's off course at 11. Rejoins at 12. Lost the back end and just kind of over/understeered off. It's a bit of a mix of the two, that one. Rucci's caught Hamilton. Also with the Dirty South Racing Supra. Can do against your stage winner. As no moves being made into 4. A tank slapper there for Hamilton as he broke the back end around. Still trying to wrestle that number 12 car under control. Oh, Rucci's looking for the inside. No room. Jacob Noyes has spun it again. Gets it going. That was at turn... Excuse me, that was at turn 9. And with Rucci not able to get around Hamilton for the time being, let's take a look at what just happened to Jacob Noyes as he is looped it again. This was down the hill through 8. Oh, lost control up the hill into 7, then spun it out in 8, and yeah, just overcorrected around turn 9. Power to him, though. He kept that thing rolling. Oh, there's the move. Rucci to the inside of Hamilton through turn 3, and is able to get through. Hamilton left the door open and then lifted off. Did not want to risk battling it out with Rucci, as Rucci finds himself now up into second place. Purcell, Ames, Munson also in alignment with each other down to 4. And Hunter Thrower trying to regain lost time is up the back end of Brad Prenger, the Repairables.com Chevy. Thought for a second Thrower was actually going to look for the inside line there, but he was not close enough to be able to even think about making that one work. Maybe into 11 if he's really bold, but he thinks about it. He actually tried it, I think, but just couldn't get deep enough on the brakes. And if he did from that far back, he absolutely would have cleaned the both of them out. Purcell wide on the exit of turn 1, gives the spot to Munson. And Prenger's starting to build a small gap over the All-American Motorsports driver of Hunter Thrower as they swing through turn 2. Couple of cones getting kicked up. What did those cones ever do to you? As we continue to roll our way through this 127 kilometer race, and when you look at how the schedule is going to shake up, we are going to be having 2 very more technical tracks on the oval side as Kaiser almost looped it around. Starting it off with the Eagle Tile 140 at Darlington Raceway in just a moment, with the Kart City Performance 160 at the Richmond International Raceway just a short while afterwards. And then we wrap it up with the Sergeant Junket 150 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the final race in the regular season. There's a lot of racing to be had yet. Oh, Munson, that's a bit deep, my friend there. Able to cut it in, but loses a couple of tenths as a result. And an apparent off for Stefan Purcell a lap ago. That was in 11. You see him swing wide, and nice clean rejoin. Nothing to worry about there on that front. Prenger going on the offensive now against the number 57 car, and he'll make that one happen as Purcell swings 2 wide and 5 to be able to hold on. So Prenger starting to gradually climb the order. So far, Matt Rucci has gained the most spots out of anybody. He is +5 from where he started in this race. Followed closely by Ames, who's 4 back, but he runs in 7th. There's Purcell. Think about another attack into 11. Purcell's the driver that has lost the most. You see him on your screen running in 10th. He's lost 4 spots after he started in 6th as the last driver to put down a qualifying lap. Haven't checked in on your battle for 6th place recently. Nathaniel Ames is still running strong against Kyle Munson as Jacob Noyes has just taken another excursion into the grass. Oh, lost control again out of 3, and once more into that gravel trap. And meanwhile, Logan Hamilton spinning out from 3rd place in turn 11, way off the course. And you'll see Spencer Ray just get through there. That's a rejoin and a half. Just able to bring that thing under power. And Jacob Noyes is going to be into pit road this time by, while Logan Hamilton, once again, coming off the course. He would have just swung wide through turn 4 and then rejoined. And meanwhile, Jacob Noyes into pit road, and this looks to be a scheduled stop as he is going to be taking tires. Hunter Thrower, the next driver to fall victim to Ohio, and oh, he's gone all the way around at turn 4. Oh, yeah, lost the back end. Oh, yeah, lost back end, then overcorrected and swung it out really wide. Just now rejoining. Rucci's caught Brody. About to have a fight for the race lead on our hands here as the Badger Racing 88 has caught up to the Rooftop Bar Tools #1. Brody so far led the most laps in this, the 7th race at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. While that battle's raging on, Kyle Munson just made a pass on Nathaniel Ames down into turn 4. That was for 7th place on the racetrack in the J Concepts Ford Mustang. It's always amazing being able to see these drivers really working these cars as hard as they are. Let's ride on board with Matt Rucci, and look at the wheel work he does here to keep this car pointed the right direction, especially when we get down around to the more technical sections of the race circuit, or even when it gets to the power here through turn 2. Oh, just nothing between them. Counter steering a little bit on corner exit just to keep it pointed in the right direction, running him down with the draft. This is the longest straight up into 4th gear. Braking early, I think maybe trying to pressure Munson out. Oh, he's done it! Munson now breaks himself. He's off the course. Nate Brody way off into the grass, and that is going to cost him the race lead. A very costly error there for Nate Brody. He's able to save it, but loses the lead as a result. Rucci is through. Bear Morton is off the track, and meanwhile, Hunter Thrower is into pit road. Bear Morton is still... Oh, wow, big trouble here for Sean Kaiser as well. There was a whole lot of stuff that just went wrong here. Let's start one thing at a time here. We'll look back to Hunter Thrower first. He was all by himself, loses... Oh, hello. as he pulls it into the chicane and brings it to a stop. So I think Hunter Thrower was just done with it all, I guess you could say. Van Morton, meanwhile, he's going to come sliding off the track into the gravel, comes on and rejoins. Oh, right into the side of Sean Kaiser. That is not nice at all, and I imagine Sean Kaiser is not going to be a very happy camper with that one. Let's ride on board here with Kaiser as he was coming up around, just minding his own business. All of a sudden, just blindsided. That is no doubt going to come down to a post-race look as Bear Morton cleans out the All-American Motorsports driver. Kaiser has gotten it going again, it's worth noting. I feel for him, though. I mean, that was a tremendous impact there. All the while, we are now in the closing stages of this race, and it is 7 laps left to go from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio, as the battle here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Still nice and tight. Now, I like this. I love it when we can get these battles that just rage on all the way down until the checkered flag, and usually it's hard. You're a bit hard-pressed to find an entertaining fight to watch at a road course. But I think they've shown time and time again that if anybody can make a battle look exciting on a road course like this, it would be these guys. Gonna take a look at a replay here of what happened to Logan Hamilton about 2 laps ago. This was through turn 12. Losing control, keeping it though out of the barrier, and now Jacob Noyes having more problems. Oh, once again, just over the hill and just keeps it out of the wall. I tell you what, he is not having a very fun go of things. We're going to keep with this here as he reverses out onto the race course and rejoins with these guys to get going, and then he will proceed, but a lot of time lost there for the number 34. Whoa, as Ames now fishtails it up and over the crest. Ames loses control out of turn 13. That opens up the door for Prenger, who will go around the outside of turn 1. That's going to be risky as they get nice and tight together through turn 1, and he's able to make it happen. Great overtake there for Brad Prenger. Made it happen on Stefan Purcell. Another problem for Stefan Purcell, meanwhile, chasing Sean Kaiser. Off course. Meanwhile, Barry Morton, yet another mistake into 12, swings it out wide. And has he found the barriers? It doesn't look like it. Oh, a little bit of a kiss there, but nothing too unbecoming as cuts over the pit access row briefly, but he's able to gather it up. So as we are deep now into the second stage with 6 laps left to go, let's take a ride on board with Nathaniel Ames and watch as he continues to chase down Brad Prenger. You're watching the GoSpenny 127K from the OMSRL XFinity Series.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Another pair of incidents have happened in the course of that brief commercial break there. We'll look at the first one here of Barrett Morton, and I think we actually already took a look at this one, so we're going to actually look up to the most recent one, Jacob Noyes. Carbon copy incident, just losing control again. He's been unable to keep it on track, that 34 car. No doubt that has got to be preying on him. Brad Pranger, meanwhile, clipping the grass in turn 12, swings out, keeps it out of the barriers, loses 6th place, but rejoins safely. So at the moment, these are the closest 2 cars on the race course here, Purcell and Kaiser. I usually do have to make a second pit stop, or at least a green flag pit stop in the midst of this final stage, but something tells me we might not actually have to. As it's 4 laps to go for race leader Matt Rucci. You see a whole host of drivers have been completely separated by now on the track map. And let's use Matt Rucci as an example. There you can see Matt Rucci going through turn 5. And way back here is Nate Brody in 2nd place. As you can see, is not having a very fun time there, wrangling his rooftop bar tools Chevrolet. There's the GoSpenny number 6 of Spencer Ray running in 3rd. Which leaves your fight for 8th and 9th. But even that, you've got over 2 seconds now between these drivers, so I think this is the way things are going to sit all the way down until we get to the last lap there. Let's take a look at the best lap times at the moment. You can see the 1:28 set by a lot of these drivers. The fastest lap currently held by Nate Brody. But you compare that to the last lap times, there are 4.5 seconds-ish off now. But look at Rucci, a 1.5 seconds faster than Brody that last time by alone. Okay, Hamilton having a very brief off-track excursion, just a bit too wide on the exit of 11, and doesn't so much as break a sweat. That's just road course racing in the nutshell right there. There's Nathaniel Ames with Brad Pranger right behind him. They were close with Munson in what was a three-way battle for 5th place that had been moving on for majority of the second stage since the second drop of that green flag, but Prenger obviously spun out and Ames just lost the pace as Munson found the speed he needed underneath him. So that now finds us running fairly solidly as to where we are at the moment. Logan Hamilton, a driver that's had mixed results so far this season. He has not done a whole lot of, well, he's done a lot of racing. He is currently sitting 9th place, so he is very much in the chase, but in the 7 races, he's only got 3 top 10s. 2 of those were top 5s, and as I mentioned, mixed results. Sometimes he's been up in the top 5, sometimes he's been as far back as 24th. That lowest finish was achieved at the Charlotte Motor Speedway when he was crashed out early in that race. Hamilton is usually a road course ringer, as holy cow, Jacob Noyes getting a bit hairy behind Hamilton there. But Logan Hamilton is usually a road course ringer in a variety of the leagues that he runs. But that being said, he's not had the pace to keep up with these other guys. Now, that being said, the leagues that I know him to be excellent on the road course are Cup Series leagues, where you'll see the Gen 7 cars or even the Gen 6 cars being run. These Xfinity cars, though, they drive nothing even remotely close to what the Gen 7s are like. It is a whole different breed, these cars. It does make it very, very entertaining to watch, though. Nathaniel Ames has lost a bit of time here to Brad Prenger. So we'll keep our eyes on this one as Matt Rucci, meanwhile, takes the white flag. So final lap being turned. We're going to be able to go all the way to the end without having to stop for fuel. I'll tell you what, Prenger is doing all he can to try to close up on Nathaniel Ames. Stefan Purcell having yet another off, and let me guess, too deep at a 4? Sure enough, you hear the lockup that time. But Prenger's only 0.3 of a second away from Nathaniel Ames, so this is going to get a bit tight here into 12. They're going to start their last lap now. All right, so this is where the race is going to really kick off here. Let's see how this battle for 6th place will shake up. Too deep for Ames in a 1. Prenger sees an opening, and he's going to make it side by side down the chute between 1 and 2, and Prenger's up in a 6th place. Meanwhile, coming on through the final couple of corners, Matt Rucci pulled off a clinic 3rd win of the season for the defending champion. Back-to-back wins for the Badger Racing driver. Nathaniel Ames throwing a big lunge there on Brad Prenger, trying to find a way to get through in the battle for 6th place, which is still raging on deeper in the field here as we continue to wait for drivers to come across the line. Oh, but Ames just cost himself there. Prenger messed up, but Ames did the same mistake, just tried to chase him down. That is not going to be a position gain then for Prenger. And it will be the 51 car who will hang on to 6th place. Bear Morton's caught Stefan Purcell, meanwhile. In the fight for 9th and 10th, these are the last drivers on the racetrack. Morton trying to make something happen in the 12, hoping for a mistake. That's not going to come. Stefan Purcell is through. Oh, maybe not. Morton throwing it in, but not able to make it work. So Matt Rucci comes across the line and will burn it down on the front straightaway. So as he celebrates, let's take a rundown of your official post-race results here for the GoSpenny 127. Matt Rucci takes the race win over Nate Brody with Spencer Ray in third. Logan Hamilton was in fourth. Kyle Munson was fifth. With Brad Pringer in sixth. Nathaniel Williams was seventh. Kaiser was in eighth. Steph Purcell was in ninth. Bear Morton was in 10th. He's the last driver on the lead lap. That leaves Jacob Noyes, the last running driver, a lap down. Hunter Thrower and Cody Harrelson were not able to make it to the call. Going to see if we can dial up your race winner here, Matt Rucci, taking it home with what was a fantastic drive to cling on to the race win in dominant fashion. And Matt, what a way for you to get it. You were really chasing down Nate Brody. You pressured him into the mistake, and from there, looked like it was smooth sailing for you out there.
Yeah. I mean, after the stage, I restarted fifth. And I just want to take good care of the rear tires because this track has absolutely no grip. So we need to take care of those rear tires to last the 20 laps that we had to go. But yeah, once I got up to Nate, I guess he just, like I said at the stage break, that braking zone is pretty tough. And you can easily wheel hop, and if you go too deep. But yeah. Happy with the result.
So now that we've finished off the race here at Mid-Ohio, it's a track that people are somewhat mixed about, and I know that it's not a track that necessarily suits stock car racing all that well, but did you have a good time out there?
Going into it, I was kind of like, oh, why we have to go here? There's a lot better road courses, but it wasn't too bad. Any road course just with stock cars is, just good getting experience and laps down. So, I mean, after the race, I don't mind the track. It's a lot of fun.
So looking forward now in towards, looking forward to the final races in the season. We're going to roll over into the second half. That means there's not a whole lot of races left, but do you reckon you'll still be out there to get a few more race wins yet before the season's over?
Yeah, I mean, we have Darlington, Richmond, Indy before the Chase. Yeah, I mean, those are all super fun tracks. I think Indy would be the most challenging out of them, but we don't have any 1.5 miles really, so it's gonna be a lot of braking and rhythm-esque tracks. So that should be a lot of fun.
Before I let you go, then here, Matt, anybody you'd like to shout out for that number 88?
Yep, like always, Badger Racing. I think I was the only one that was able to make it, but yeah, and shout out to Nate, Spencer, and Logan. They were proper quick today.
Thank you for joining us here tonight, Matt. Congratulations on going back-to-back and getting your third win of the season. Best of luck next week in Richmond.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It was Matt Rucci joining us here from Victory Lane. We're going to roll on down. Well, we're not going to roll down, as it turns out, to Nate Brody. He has already made a departure, as we are instead going to bring up the third-place finisher of Spencer Ray, joining us from All-American Motorsports and a third place. Spencer, you were kind of in a bit of no man's land for a good chunk of that second stage there, but is that more what you'd prefer, as opposed to having to stress about battling with drivers on such a tight course?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I was just riding around that whole race.
So when it comes down to it, I mean, it was one of those races where a lot of drivers were constantly making mistakes. You yourself made a couple, but you seem to, for the most part, keep the car in very good shape compared to some of the other guys out there in the field. What was the secret for you to being able to keep that car in such a good position to put it up on the podium?
just don't spin out.
Just don't spin out. That's like the energy of like, yeah, just don't be bad. Just get good. We look forward to the season, and next race up will be, not at Richmond like I told Richie. It'll be at Darlington, 1.3-mile oval, very technical in its own right, the tightest oval we're going to be going to on the season. What's your thought on the Lady in Black there?
It's a good track. I love racing there.
Well, short and sweet is...
track, so.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on that one.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, top tier right here. Good to talk to you as always, though, Spencer. Short and sweet as ever, it would seem. But anybody y'all like to shout out before we let you go?
No.
Well, thank you for joining us here tonight, and best of luck next week at Darlington.
Yep.
That was Spencer Ray joining us up here in the broadcast booth, and I have to say it's going to be one of those races where, once again, it was a solid run, and unfortunately not going to get the chance to talk to Nate Brody, but I have a feeling he might be kicking himself over that mistake that could very well have cost him a race win. That's going to be all the time we're going to have for one night, though. Want to thank everybody for joining us for more racing action here from the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art in your running of the GoSpenny 127K. We'll see you next week when we go racing in Darlington.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.